Now, Afghanistan and Pakistan are at loggerheads. Islamabad wants to deport all illegal Afghan refugees from its territory by January 2024. Now, Pakistan has said that over 400,000 Afghans have already left. But there is one man in Kabul for whom Islamabad has always been bending backwards to accommodate. The man in question is Sirajuddin Haqqani, the Interior Minister in the Taliban government, a designated global terrorist. And the United States, remember, also has put a bounty of $10 million on his head. Now, for a long time, this partly covered face was the only picture of Sirajuddin Haqqani. Time and again, showing only one side of his face, Sirajuddin Haqqani had remained a very elusive figure. Influential and reserved, he had stayed away from the public eye. At times, only his blurred images had been made available for the media, and even after the Taliban took charge in Afghanistan and had named Sirajuddin Haqqani as one of its top ministers, he had been shrouded in a veil of secrecy. Remember, Sirajuddin Haqqani is the head of the dreaded Haqqani network. It was only in the month of March last year that Haqqani was photographed at a graduation ceremony of the police officers in Kabul. And all this while, Haqqani has been using passports issued to him by Pakistan. And Haqqani was issued a Pakistani passport for 5 years. And this he used for his foreign travels. His passports were issued from Pakistani offices in Balochistan, Sindh and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Subsequent inquiries have confirmed that Haqqani had a passport that was issued to him in Peshawar during the tenure of the Imran Khan-led PTI government. Remember, the Imran Khan government had opened its arms to the new rulers of Afghanistan after the hasty departure of the Americans. The Haqqani had used the Pakistani passport to travel abroad, particularly to Qatar for negotiations with the United States for the signing of the Doha Agreement. The Doha Agreement had paved the way for the pullout of the US forces from Afghanistan. And now, after Pakistani journalists had raised this issue, it is now being reported that Islamabad had hastily cancelled the Taliban minister's passport, but the question over Pakistan's willingness to have given him a passport still remains. And the United States has, of course, accused the mastermind of masterminding many terror attacks with a Pakistani passport. And I earlier spoke with Bill Roggio, who's a senior fellow at FDD and also the editor of FDD's Long War Journal and a terrorism analyst, and this is what he had to say on this matter.
Yes, if this is true, this is completely unsurprising. Sirajuddin Haqqani is a key functionary of the Pakistani state. And not only is he, by the way, the Interior Minister for the Taliban's government, the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, but he's also one of 2 deputy emirs. So he is in line for succession to lead the Taliban if Mullah Habibatullah Akhundzada passes away or dies of unnatural causes. So, but he's also been a key proxy for the Pakistani deep state. The Haqqani family is known to run a madrasa in North Waziristan. It based its operations there during its insurgency against the Afghan government. He is a darling of Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence Directorate. He's been a kingmaker for the Taliban, resolving disputes. And why is Siraj Haqqani so important to the Pakistani state is because he gives them what the Pakistani state wants in Afghanistan, which is that strategic depth. Pakistan abhors the idea of India and other countries, but particularly India, gaining influence in Afghanistan. And so Sirajuddin Haqqani, by his influence with the Taliban, he was a key driver in defeating the Afghan government, getting the U.S. out of Afghanistan, and getting that what Pakistan wanted, which is a Taliban-controlled government. And the Pakistanis were successful with this. If the Americans certainly would be aware of it, just by his presence in Qatar would indicate that he had a passport to travel there. So, and I'm sure the Americans would have the ability to have that information pulled from Qatari customs. So they would have known, they would have seen where this passport came. And it's the only logical place, or the only logical country that would issue him a passport would be the Pakistanis. It's possible the Chinese or the Russians could have issued him a passport, but I seriously doubt that would have happened. There's just no other country that would have done this. given his relationship with the Pakistanis. Again, this is not surprising to me whatsoever.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.